What's up, Capoeira Nation? Welcome back to the Capoeira Experience podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in and be part of the Capoeira community. Once again, back to keep inspiring the Capoeira community and bringing the Capoeira community together. And once again, if you want to be on the podcast, hit me up and don't be shy. Just reach out and let's have a conversation. And, I want to learn from you. And I'm pretty sure probably somebody out there wants to learn from you too. And today I have the pleasure. So a couple of days ago, well, like a week ago, I got some information on my story of a capoeira planner, and I never seen this before. And when I hit the video, it got me to this really cool capoeira planner, and I never seen stuff like this, and I think it's really cool. The capoeira community comes up with this idea because is something new for us. And today I have the pleasure to interview Graduada Iguana, the creator of the Capoeira Planner. How are you doing?
Thank you very much for this introduction. I'm very great. I'm very honored to be with you. And thank you again for the opportunity.
Yeah, of course. And like I just said, I never see stuff like this. And I think it's really cool for many people. Many people want to get better, and sometimes we just practice. That's pretty much how I did it. And we just do it, but we don't keep track of stuff. So and for us to get a little bit how these came up. First of all, tell us your social media. What is your social media so people can find you?
Okay, so my Instagram page is at capoeira_planner. And you can find me also on my more capoeiristic profile at lipstick capoeira _by_ig, because Iguana, it's my name, and Lipstick Capoeira is the blog I have created in 2014 to talk about capoeira and empower other women.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Nice,
yeah.
nice, perfect. And what would be your capoeira story of like when you started? How long have you been doing capoeira? Where you started?
Sure. So I started capoeira in 2003
Nice.
because my brother was practicing a few years before I started. So he is my little brother. So I used to go to the events, to the batizado, just to see him playing capoeira. And I always thought like one day probably I could do this because I have a martial art background.
Nice.
I practiced Taekwondo, the Korean martial art, when I was a teenager, and I really enjoyed this. And by just observing the capoeira movements, I could see similar kicks in Taekwondo that are also in capoeira. So I thought that probably I could do this capoeira thing.
Nice.
So in September 2003, I decided to register at the same group that my brother was training. So here in France, in Grenoble, the group is Génération Capoeira,
Nice.
and I train under the supervision of Contramesh Sebol.
That's awesome. That's pretty cool.
That's how it started. So a long time ago.
That's awesome. And during that time, how was your training? Did you like try to keep track of your training or how was the training?
Okay, so at the beginning, I was all in for like the first years. I trained like 3 to 4 times a week.
Nice.
I learned to play all the instruments. I learned the berimbau, the pandeiro, atabaque. I learned to learn a new language.
Nice.
I learned new songs, and I used to translate these songs in French so I could understand what I was talking about while I was singing, And in 2004, I started to travel to Brazil. So
cool.
1 year only after I started, my group did a trip to Brazil. So we were like 15 people, and we traveled in Rio, Minas Gerais, Salvador da Bahia, just to know the country. And it reinforces more my will to understand more and to learn more about the history and the background of capoeira, how it was created out of an act of resistance, etc. So I was really all in, and I always wanted to improve. So I learned very fast, like the kicks and the esquiva and some acrobatics, although I'm not a specialist in acrobatics. But I really learned the culture more than like the movement. But I was like all in the training. And if I could train like from Monday to Saturday, I would do so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty much how I was too. Like whenever it's a class, I'm there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That was,
Yeah.
yeah. And at that time, I was like 20 years old. I worked as a temp. I had temp contract, so I could break the contract and go travel to Brazil and go
Nice.
back and train to Brazil and come back with more energy. And it was for like the 5-10 years, the first years.
So cool.
That was my way of life. Yeah, I was really
cool.
living for capoeira. Like,
yeah, that's pretty cool. And all these happened in the gap of the first 10 years.
Yes.
That's so cool. So you travel a lot to Brazil.
I traveled more than 10 times to Brazil.
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
cool.
from 3 weeks, the shortest travel I've made, to 3 months. I went alone, backpack, 3 months around Brazil, just trying to know more about the culture and just knocking at the different academies door.
Yeah.
So I trained with Senzala in Rio. I trained with Cordão de Ouro in São Paulo.
That's
I trained with Mestre Nenel, the son of Mestre Bimba in Salvador da Bahia. So I was like, I want to see as much thing as possible.
Yeah.
And train with as many different people as possible. So yeah, I travel every year, almost every year. I was traveling to Brazil, and it slowed down a bit around 2017.
Okay.
Where I could only travel like every other year. So because of work and because of many things. But yeah, I enjoyed a lot my first 10 years.
That's cool. Pretty cool. That's pretty cool. If you get a chance to do this again, will you do it again?
Sure.
Oh,
absolutely.
Nice.
I'm all in, and I plan to go to Brazil se Deus quiser, in 2022. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So let's go. Let's finish with this pandemic, and hopefully things will go back to normal, and we will be allowed to travel again and to meet again. And
for sure.
Yeah, I'm craving.
Nice. Have you ever been in Fortaleza?
No, to São Luís do Maranhão.
Okay, we should try.
That's the highest I've traveled. Yeah, São Luís.
We should meet up there in Fortaleza. Capoeira in Fortaleza is really, really cool.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and you have the beach right there.
Why not? Yeah,
that would be really cool. And yeah, because I'm planning on bringing all my students hopefully to Fortaleza, and it would be really cool. I have a lot of friends there too.
When do you plan to do that? Maybe we can catch up there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, hopefully everything depends of the pandemic.
Exactly.
But for sure, we really, really want to. That's our to-go place right now.
So you have to write it in the Capoeira planner as a goal and track your actions so you can realize this goal, because it's all about planning. A goal without a plan is just a wish. That's what I've learned from my years of experience in many areas.
100%.
It's not written down. It will probably not happen. Yes,
100%. I agree with that too. Yeah, and now that you mentioned this of the planner is really good that it just came up. In which period of time you were like, I have to track of my ideas of my my goals. So I can have a map where I'm going to go.
So first of all, I have to say that I'm a planner addict. I like to put structure in my life. I like to plan my weeks, plan my month. Sometimes a bit rigid about that, because I really like to schedule things. Even though many times my life is a total chaos, nothing happened the way I planned, like many of us. But I like the idea to at least have this structure written somewhere, and to keep track on what I am doing, what I am about to accomplish, and the steps to take to accomplish that. So I've always been a huge fan of planner and structure. 100%. So this Capoeira planner thing happened like out of a frustration because I'm a capoeira addict and I've always wanted to add the capoeira environment into my life and then into my planning. So I would write, for example, my capoeira goals. I would write my the progress I wanted to track, but in just a regular planner. And I was like, oh, one day, if I have time, if I could probably create a planner specifically for capoeiristas.
Nice.
Specifically to track your, like in all the areas of capoeira, like the movement, the music, the history, the training, the playing berimbau, the different toques, etc. And it kept like, I had that on the back of my head, but not really realizing it.
Didn't write it down.
Indeed, this was the thing that was not really, a real thing that I wanted to do it, but I didn't like wrote an action plan because I would say, oh, if I have time or when I get the chance, I will put that on a piece of paper and start to create this project.
Yeah.
And then 2020 hits and the pandemic and all the classes ended and there were no more gathering, no more events, no more capoeira.
No more travels, man.
Yeah, and no more travels. And so capoeira became something virtual. So we were alone at home in front of someone in the computer, like trying to train, etc. So I had time. And that's where this idea came up again and say, oh, maybe that's the opportunity that things slowed down. We are all locked in our home, no more gathering. Maybe that's the time to try to create this planner. And I think I was craving some structure because with COVID, everything like was destroyed. Like our routine was destroyed, our plan were destroyed, our everything. So we had to adapt and to be agile. So there's no better time for me to think about this capoeira planner and to materialize it than 2020. So let's do it. So I started to write down every features, every characteristics I wanted to see in that planner. I started to contact printers and designers, and where I would lack, I'm not a great designer, but I wanted something beautiful and something you can go every day in and write your goals or just your day, your week, etc. So with the help of a few friends also for the translation, because I wanted this planner to be in 3 languages. So it's in French, Portuguese, and English. Everything is translated in 3 languages.
Cool. That's awesome.
So because I speak those 3 languages, and I wanted this capoeira planner to be without frontiers, so that everybody can understand and use. Yeah,
for sure. And it's definitely like accessible for a lot of capoeiristas.
Absolutely.
That's pretty cool.
And it's 100% customizable. You can DIY the way you want. You have many features. I don't know if you want me to show.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. So this.
And let's try to describe it and for people the one that are listening.
So on the first page, of course, you have your information. I don't know if you can see exactly.
A little bit,
Yeah. Okay. Then you have a space where you can put the information about your group. So you can either design the logo or just write the name of your group.
Nice.
Or I don't know if you like to design, you can just reproduce the logo or just write the name. Here is the weekly schedule. So once we get all back to our routine, we will be able to put like, I have a Monday class, a Tuesday class, the place, the time, the location. And if you are a teacher, you can also put the classes you give. So for example, for kids from, 9 to 14 years old, it's this day, this time of the day and the location. Also, I wanted it to be motivational. So all through the planner, you will have quotes that will help you. So in 3 languages as well. So uma meta sem plano é apenas desejo, which stand for a plan without a goal without a plan is just a wish.
Yes. I like
and then you have a self-assessment sheets. So you have 2 pages where you can assess your knowledge in berimbau, pandeiro, atabaque. songs you want to learn for the year. You can put, for example, birimbau. You can put the toques you know how to play and tick the box, and the one that you want to learn. Or if you know, for example, all the talks de birimbau, you can just complexify a bit with variation, etc. So you have this as an assessment that you can personalize. And then the self-assessment for the movement. Let's say you want to change your graduation next year. What's the step? What's the movement you have to know? What's the music you have to, the instrument you have to master, etc. So that's the assessment. Then you have reflection page where you can, for example, put some ideas for the year to come. And then you have plan of the year. Here, what's your objective? And of course, what's your action plan? So you can totally customize it. And because I'm a huge fan of vision board, I thought that would be also important for people because it worked for me. It works for a lot of people. When you see the image, your brain function in a different way. And for 100%. Some magic, you have this happen in your life. So let's take the example of the Capoeira planner. I had it in my mind. I exactly knew how I wanted to design it. And so it became now a reality. So I'm a huge fan. And then you have the calendar. So you have all these illustrations that I wanted this to be very specific to Capoeira. I included at the beginning of the month a budget. Okay. I know we should not talk about money, but we should indeed because Capoeira has a cost.
Of course, we need to talk about money.
We need, but a lot of people don't want to talk about that. But I just wanted it. So you keep track of your Capoeira expenses, for example, at the beginning of the year, you have to buy your uniform. You have, for example, the specific outfit, or you plan to go on this event or to travel. For example, the Brazil, it has a cost to travel to Brazil.
100%.
Put this down. And then it's a week on 2 pages, and you have habits tracker here where you can insert your new habits. And I think after COVID, we all lose track of our good habits, and it's a good time for us to just put some improvement in our life. And so you have the way to track them from Monday to Sunday, and just the habits you want to track. And then so we go for 4 weeks. And at the end of each month, you have evento page. It's a 2-page event. Yes, because I'm craving, I don't know you, but I'm craving festivals and I'm craving gathering.
Yes.
So I think I will be all in when we will be able to travel. So have you ever been frustrated after an event, like a weekend spent in a gymnasium playing capoeira, that you hardly remember a movement on the Monday? And your teacher say, okay, show me the movement you learned at the workshop last week. And you're like, gosh, I don't remember. We all experience this. So here you have the logistic part of the event you are attending, and then you have the movements, meaning that during each break, in between classes, you have short breaks to go and drink some water. So you can just remember the main movement, the sequence.
Write it down.
Exactly, you write it down. Awesome. And so you have 3 or 4 exercises that you can train the week after at your academy. And then you have the music, because many times I was in an event and I saw someone, wow, I love that song. I don't know this song. I would like to learn that one. And the day after I forgot to ask the guy, what's the lyrics and things like that. So putting this, written the lyrics, I think will help you to even more work more and learn the song and contribute to a beautiful rota with new songs. And it's very great when you come to a rota in your academy, in your group, and you have a new song and many people are like, wow, that's a new one. It has a lot of dende. Let's try to sing this one. And then the reflection about how was this event? Did you enjoy the event? Is there any specific speech that you liked about a guest, a master, a maestra that said something that hit your, I never thought about that. it happened a lot with me when I would listen to a master. Last time it was Master Russo that said something very, very interesting that I didn't think about for all these years in capoeira, and it was like a new discovery and things to look after and try to understand what he meant when he said this. So, and then after you have the evaluation, so it's a
Nice.
Life wheel assessment that I called Roda do Mês, Roda because it's in circle, and then you have 8 specific areas that you can totally customize, like for your life in general, like family, relationship, finance, work, or you can also personalize capoeira wise, like training, music, singing, stretching, everything. And you just have to assess, and you put colors and you put a grade, like this month training I would put a 5 out of 10 because I didn't really train, etc. So you can track your progress this way. It's a good way to have a review of your month.
Yeah.
And
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah. So and at the end, the last one,
track everything. Sorry? You pretty much are going to be tracking everything.
You can track everything. I'm awesome. I like to track because tracking is progressing and it's analyzing where you lack something or
100%.
Yeah, if you don't track, you don't know if you're on a good path or on a bad path.
Yeah, so, where you can improve, where you need to move a little bit, adjust, and that's
exactly.
Awesome.
And it works for life in general. I think we're all here to improve, to be better person, to be better at work, to be better in our family, and of course to be better in capoeira. Yeah, I'm not talking of being a champion in capoeira, but just a better person in the capoeira world.
100%. So, yeah, I agree with that.
And then I finished the month with a mini biography. So this is Dandara dos Palmares. And it's a short biography. Awesome. So in Portuguese, French, and English again. Yeah. So that's a month overview when you have the 12 month. And it's pretty...
So each month has those features that you just mentioned?
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah, each month has a biography, has the Roda do Mês where you can track your progress. Each week has a... habits tracker. You have quotes also inside the weeks. You have many features that I wanted to include because I wanted this to be as useful as possible for a capoeirista. And I've always wanted to have a planner that looked like that. So I created mine because I couldn't find anywhere.
It's pretty much how I came out with the podcast. I was like, I have so many questions and I'm 100% sure somebody out there has the exact same question and they don't know how to ask it. What is the best way to ask it? To ask the question.
Exactly.
So it's better. Somebody's gonna have the answer. Even it can be a beginner or it can be an advanced. Exactly. So that's why I love talking to people through the podcast because we can find ideas through this. And I think I really like the idea of the
Thank you. And not everybody has the same answer, which is very good because you can have one question and different answer. Yes. And with this different answer, you make your own answer.
100%.
You should not follow just one answer and always see, according to me at least, have a various number of opinions and just helping you to make your own answer about the question you were
that way you don't have like a tunnel vision on one idea and like even like you said, you mentioned, like, we need to talk about money in the capoeira community. Is we cannot be ashamed of be talking about money. I mean, who's gonna pay for the ticket for us to travel?
Exactly. But it seemed that it seemed that money never come into the conversation about capoeira because we figure that we're all rich and we can all travel and we can all attend and I know because when I started, I hadn't have a lot of money and sometimes I would go into debt to pay for a certain event. I would put my bank account in the red because I wanted to attend the event on the other side of the country and I didn't have the money at the bank, but I wanted to go. So planning again for your finance is very important because it will relieve you. It will let go of the stress of not having the money, or try
100%.
to find ways to get the money to attend a certain event or to travel, maybe sell some stuffs or things like that. So that's why I wanted to include this in the planner.
100%. Because it's the same. Because when I was younger, I wanted to travel, and I saw all my friends traveling, but I couldn't travel because I didn't have the money. And I was like, man, and we shouldn't be ashamed of talking about money. And
I agree. I agree 100%.
If you want to go Brazil, somebody got to pay for the food.
Exactly. And the hostel, even though it's a cheap hotel, but you have to pay for that. You have to pay for the tickets. You have to pay for the event you are attending in Brazil. The Capoeira event are not free in Brazil as well as everywhere. So
those maestros got to eat too. Once, because you pay for the event, that helps them to put a food or whatever they want to do with the money. But it's maestros that when now on the instructor side, when you want to bring those great maestros for our students to have fun and all that, somebody got to pay for the tickets.
It has a cost, absolutely.
They also charge. So it's why should we be ashamed of talking about money when it's as normal? That's all day to life.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah. So and you said that what inspires you to what was the real inspiration for you to find the idea of the planner?
The inspiration, you mean what was the catalyst?
Yes.
Well, it was the frustration. It was like, I want a planner that looks like me, that looks like what my day-to-day life. I want to track my progress. Not that I want to be a champion or anything like that, but I want something that I can structure my life, and Capoeira, although Capoeira is part of our life, sure, but I wanted a huge part being Capoeira and to be able to track my progress. So it was out of frustration because I couldn't find the tool I needed to be fully fulfilled in my personal life, the work life, and the Capoeira life. So, and as I told you before, I like structure and I like to see progress. And for me, when it's written down, it's how to say, manageable. You can manage, you can correct if you go off track, etc. That's how I function, and I think a lot of people like to see their progress too.
100%. I actually was mentioning a friend of mine. He was telling me that, like, I want to do this and this and this, and I was like, the first step for actually make it happen is to write it down.
Oh boy, yes.
Because is you bring it from the idea to physical, and then from that physical, whatever can happen.
Exactly. I was talking about kind of magic, like at the beginning, because I don't know, when you write things down, your brain start to be in a mode like, okay, that's written, so I have to work toward this. If it's 100%. Just a wish, like, you will think about that and then you will forget, but you won't take real action toward this goal. And 3 or 5 years from now, you will be at the exact same place where you've been when you had this idea, and nothing changed because you didn't actually act upon this.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. And there's a book, you read books, right?
Sure. I love books.
There's a book, Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill.
Yeah. He talks about that.
Exactly.
Where like putting all the, in present, and having written down the goals where you want.
As if it was already happened. Like, I am fit and strong and things like that. So your brain know that, because your brain doesn't make the difference between something that is real and something that is not real. The fact that you write it, your brain believe it. So that's why the power of writing is so strong.
100%. And even not just for ideas, because for example, when you say, like, you used to translate the lyrics, and that was before YouTube, right?
Oh, sure. The internet was almost non-existent at that time.
So, and I did the exact same thing. I was actually telling my students when I was teaching them music. I was like, right before YouTube, what I used to do is, and I think I have it on the podcast too. I used to play the music, pause it, write it down, go back. Okay, oh yeah, I read it right. Keep going, and it took me like 3 hours to write one lyric, and that's the way I learned Portuguese too. Because
that is the same way. I learned by writing and by translating what I was writing. Exactly.
Yeah, 100%.
We learn the same way.
Yeah, and I use my ears and I use my eyes to write down, and I use many senses for me to learn Portuguese. And
exactly.
That's why I learned Portuguese, and I learned the lyrics too.
That's cool. Exactly my story as well. I used to write, I had notebooks like filled with songs and things, and just above each line, the French translation. So, so it helped me to learn vocabulary and because Portuguese, I never thought one day I would learn Portuguese, but at Capoeira, you have to learn Portuguese. And it was so natural for me. So it was little by little, all these vocabulary words adds up. And one day I could have a conversation with a Brazilian. And and little by little, without even noticing it, I was learning the language.
Nice. And all those tracking you can do in the planner too, right?
Sure, absolutely. It's full. I wanted this planner to be as customizable as possible. So you have many notes pages where you can write, for example, a song that you want to train, or I don't know, a goal that you have, and then you can put every steps that you need to reach this goal, or you have space also to write. I don't know. I was also translating kicks and esquivas.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So rabo de arraia. Why this kick is named rabo de arraia? What does it mean, martelo?
Yeah.
All these things helped me to have the vocabulary, and I would write down everything.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And you can do the exact same thing in the planner if you are a tracker as I am.
That's really cool. And Maestra Francisinha, I had her on the podcast. She was my she is my go-to when I ask her, like, hey, why is this name called like this? Oh, this kick is called like this, and this movement is called like this. She's a computer she has a encyclopedia for Capoeira history. Yeah,
that's great. Yeah, we should go and search for the meaning of the words and the meaning of the songs, because we know that a capoeira song has different meanings. It has the global meaning, and then there is another meaning if you pay attention to the words, etc. So I think we should, to be better capoeirista, we should know this too. And for a stranger, I'm not Brazilian, I'm French. So for me, it was a total discovery, and it's not always easy to learn a new language, and not everybody is into it 300%.
100%. Yeah.
But we have at least to pay attention to these little details that will make us better capoeiristas. To understand better the roda, the tradition and the rituals around the roda. You need at a certain point to understand the various level of a song or a specific name.
Yeah, for sure. And it doesn't have to be like at the beginning, but once we progress, once we advance and we get deeper into capoeira, it's also respect for the art, like, because it has a tradition, he has stuff behind it. Is way deeper than we just see in the Hada. Yeah,
exactly. That's why a lot of people think capoeira is a dance or it's a choreography, because you see this from the outside.
Yeah.
And someone who practiced capoeira, but just like any other sport, would have the same thinking, like, I'm just go practice capoeira just like I would do any other sport. And the person who is really rooted into understanding the capoeira and the many, many faces it has this understanding. And we need these people to continue the the transmission of the rituals and the tradition, because capoeira is an oral language. You can
100%,
write
yeah.
everything you want, but at a certain point, the song, like the rota is 100% oral. It's 100%
Yes.
energy. There's
Yeah.
nothing written. You don't come in the rota with your notebook or your
Yeah.
songbook. So you have to pay attention to all that.
Yeah.
And the best way to pay attention to all that is to study first. So you have it in your mind. So when you see it happen in front of you, you know how to behave and you understand better the language of capoeira.
100%, 100%. And yeah, the African traditions is an oral tradition, and they
Absolutely.
don't have books, and I mean they probably do now, but
Yeah, but
is ancient traditions is just mouth to mouth and the generations. That's why is like a lineage, and then the grandpa of the grandpa of the grandpa taught me this, and that's how we do in the family and all that. It's really
exactly.
cool. That's why I love this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really important because we have to keep this oral thing. And at the same time, it's difficult because orality transmitted can be sometimes changed
Yes,
or
100%.
like
Yeah.
someone would understand something that it has been said in his way and someone else in the other way. And that's how you see sometimes the huge difference. For example, the one great sentence in capoeira that every capoeirista knows is capoeira é tudo que a boca come.
Yeah, Messi Pastinha. Yeah.
Yeah, just this sentence have
Yeah.
1,000 meanings.
Oh yes.
And what's the most spread, unfortunately, is that capoeira é tudo que a boca come, meaning that everything in capoeira is okay. You can shoot, you can kick, you can everything is permitted.
Yeah.
And I think that's not what the ancient master wanted to transmit when they first say that.
Yeah.
And so that's why sometimes orality has this kind of transformation all through the years, but
yeah.
That's how it is. And
Yeah.
we just have to pay attention and to search and to study more and more so that we have a better understanding of what what the ancestor or the master that came before us wanted to say at the specific time of their lives.
Yeah, 100%. And to wrap it up, what would be single advice for the capoeira community?
About what?
Just in general.
General?
Yeah, whatever comes to your mind. Like I just said before, like I always tell everybody in the podcast, is like buying the harder. You buy the harder, you play the game.
I like this image. I would say because for me it's a topic that I really am very sensitive, is unify and let's end the violence and the machismo in the rota. Rota is for everybody. It's not because you have stronger muscles that you have to be more respected. Respect
100%.
is for everyone. And especially that now we hear a lot about harassment, sexual harassment or violence or things like that in the road by masters, by teachers that has the authority.
Yeah.
Capoeira, it's not that. Capoeira is for everybody. Everybody deserves respect. It's not because you're a master that you're more respectful or has to be more respected. Everybody has to be
100%. 100%.
Whatever the graduation, whatever. So just respect and just put yourself in the shoes of the person you harass or you've been violent with or things like that, and just unify to put an end to this that is no longer acceptable in the capoeira community. So my advice would be speak up, don't close your eyes, and pay attention to the surrounding.
Yes, 100%. That's awesome. Yeah. And like it's sometimes we try to cover up. It means like, no, that's the let's focus about
for
this.
a long time we did.
Yeah.
For a long time, because who never experienced machismo when it started? Maybe not boys, but women especially. I don't know one woman who never experienced a word or an attitude or even more from someone having the authority and everybody just covered up. Oh, it's normal. It's capoeira. Oh, it's normal.
Or
That's
can
the
say
way.
anything because it's a the mestre or
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
master. Oh, that's the way Brazilian are. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Respect is for everybody,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And
it's
all
not.
and also not all Brazilians are like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should, yeah, just respect,
Yeah. Yeah.
please.
100%. Yeah, and I also in the other spectrum too. There's also a lot of people respecting too, because he's where you see the mestres being like very very humble. You know, like they super like with everybody. You know, this is both sides. So, but we also gotta pay attention to the other side too.
Yeah.
Can't ignore the other side.
Yeah, sure. It's from all sides, and you
Yeah.
see, I had the chance to meet with João Grande. I had the chance to meet with João Pequeno, with Mestre Boca Rica. These old masters has like they are humble, like they know a lot of things,
Yeah.
and they're like, I know nothing, like I'm still learning,
Wow.
and everybody has a place in capoeira. We should all be inclusive, and we should. And then you have like
Newer generation.
other generation. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's I know everything. Capoeira, I know
Yeah.
what I say is true, and if you don't believe me, I will kick you in the road,
Yeah.
or they
Yeah.
come here in the road to just kick the other person because they had an argument a year ago. So they take the opportunity
Yeah.
to, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
all
It's very
experience
fun.
this, and
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
all fed up with this. We just
Yeah.
want to be like safe in
Yeah.
capoeira
Yeah.
and respected.
Yeah, and it's definitely changing because and the time when I started capoeira is completely different of what capoeira is, and it's really cool how the change is coming, and
Yeah.
you can see it happen slowly. Hopefully, we can change faster. But it's definitely there. The change is definitely there.
Yeah, I know. And there's a strong movement now, strong, like people start realizing that what used to be normal is not normal anymore.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah,
acceptable. So
yeah.
I really have hope for the coming generation and the coming years that we will see better, like not better capoeira, because capoeira is capoeira, is
100%.
already
Yeah. It's not
beautiful
really
by
capoeira,
itself,
yeah.
but like better behavior in the road.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And well, I'm so happy to have you on the podcast. I'm very happy. Congratulations with the
Thank you
planner.
very much for this
Yes.
opportunity.
Yeah,
And
it's
yeah,
awesome. We need new ideas like this because is not everybody knows how to keep track of their stuff.
yes, at least that's my proposal. As I say, isso é minha chamada.
Yeah.
So whoever wants to answer this chamada, you're welcome. And I hope this tool will help you. And it's also a good way to track your memories of the past year. So you can come back and just look at that. Oh yeah, I went at this event, and you kind of feel like the emotion that you felt when you were at this event. So I think it's my proposal for the capoeirista community, and I hope people will like it.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, if you're listening to this, go and get one and start tracking your goals. You know, and two things that help you to track your ideas, your capoeira, and that will help Iguana to improve the planner or come up with a newer planner. You know, and is reciprocal. Sure. You know, we help each other.
Yeah, capoeira é uma troca.
Yes.
It's an exchange. So this is my proposal. Come with yours, and let's have this discussion just like in the Rota. Let's
100%. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I wish you all the best. We see each other in Brazil in 2022.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Yeah, in Fortaleza.
In Fortaleza. Okay, tá anotado.
Nice.
E congratulations for your great work. Thank you. The community needs this, and together we're stronger.
100%. Yeah. You like you say, unify.
Unify. Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Kashishi.
Bye.
Bye.
thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for getting this far. Remember, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up on Facebook or YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is going to help us and help me to get bigger numbers and bigger subscribers so we can give more information. Okay, please, if you're listening, I know you're listening, I know you're watching, please give me a subscribe, give me a like. Okay, I know you're watching right here or listening. All right, have an amazing day. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening every single episode, especially the episode we just did. All right, thank you so much. Peace.